Hey guys, Chanopi here. I'm Nico.
And I'm King.
And we're the Opinionated Pirates. So today on this One-Hit Manga section, we're going to be checking out the Promised Neverland. Now this is one I was kind of introduced. I was told that, hey, you need to check this out. And I was like, oh, well, what's it about? They're like, oh, it's just about, kids in an orphanage. That's it. I don't want to tell you more. Like, you just need to go check it out. And I was like, I don't know. I've kind of seen the cover. It doesn't really interest me. And told me like, well, it does have some like horror-esque stuff. Like, there's a twist in there. And I was like, horror? I'm like, okay, I'm a sucker for horror. I'm like, I'll check it out. And it does follow orphans in this orphanage. Right away, it seems like something's off. Just the way the atmosphere is, everything. And yeah, there's a twist that happens fairly early on. Maybe not a twist, but a reveal that happens pretty early on. And just for the sake of how I was surprised when I went in, I didn't tell you.
No. I remember I texted you being like, what the heck, man? Yeah,
and so it was a twist for him. So just for the sake of like preserving that reveal, we are going to talk about that because it happens fairly early on. It's like, I think it's the first chapter. At the end of the first chapter it happens. So if you want to keep that, you don't want to be spoiled by that, then definitely go check the book out. Get a friend, borrow it. If you like horror-esque or you just kind of heard about TPN and it kind of sounds like you'd be interested, just buy it. I'm pretty sure you'll love it. Or it's on Hulu, I believe.
Hulu and Netflix now.
Oh, and Netflix. Oh, yeah. So go check out the first episode then, and if you want to hear our thoughts on it or impressions, then then come back and check us out. Why don't you pick it up? How did you like that review?
All right, so full spoilers at this point. Man, just finding out that the whole world is all on just like a happy little world with these kids, and you find out they're all just being bred to be eaten by demons. It really changed the whole tone of that. I mean, you had a little bit start with the tests on how intense those tests were and how everything was like, okay, happy, test time. And I'm like, oh crap, I get like that when I take a test. But then you get a little bit farther and you see the demons and like just straight up kid getting killed and then talked about eating.
I saw a twist come. I saw something happening because of like the test, like I said, they seem to keep them in prime condition. Like, they're all really healthy. And when they bring up the scores, like, they seem to put a pretty big emphasis on the score. And then the girl Connie, the one, fortunately, met her end.
Yeah, with her low scores, too.
This poor guy. But anyway, all right, I'm not going to cry in this video. I swear. They talk about how kids who left the orphanage, they've never heard back from them again. And all the ones are like, oh, they're just happy with their new family. So, obviously, as a reader, it's like, that's not right. Something's off. But I didn't expect it to be them farmed to be eaten for meat. I wasn't expecting that. Thought maybe they're being sold off to somewhere or they're slaves to something, not food.
Yeah.
I have a friend that calls them little chicken nuggies every time he sees the pictures, and I'm just like, why? Why do you hurt my heart? But yeah, the central figures are Emma, Ray, and Norman, which are like they're the top three, I want to say.
Yeah, you pretty much have the strategist, the happy-go-lucky, and then the realist.
Yeah, I guess that'd be the best way to describe them. And I think they even go in the book. They kind of like separate them like their little categories that other children do. It's these three that find out what's going on, and then the mom who they call mom, the one that takes care of all the children, becomes this really intense chess-like cat and mouse game between the three of them and mom, where they're trying to figure out, how do we get out of here without mom knowing? And then they actually left something behind when they saw Connie. So mom knows that there are kids there, but she doesn't know how many or who. So now she's trying to slyly figure out who's doing it, and it's these really tense interactions that really, at least for me, pulled me in pretty hard.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see, like, when mom's kind of portraying to them, like, yes, I know one of you guys were out, and this is how I could, and she pulls out her watch. When they were playing hide-and-go-seek, and there was that one kid who was missing, and they couldn't find her, she just immediately walks straight to them, brings them back, and then pulls out the watch, kind of just be like, your move, you see that I can see you. Just giving them a warning.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty interesting because they even say, like, oh, mom must have a tracker on this stuff, and I think it's Norman, if I remember correctly, they just outright say it like, no, she let us see that. She's letting us know that I know you know. So here you go, and as you said, your move. Like, what are you gonna do? And it just, I thought that reveal maybe would have, maybe slowed or heightened the pace a little bit too much. But I think it found a really nice balance going through.
And then even when Crone shows up, Mom tells her, yeah, one of them saw the end. And then Crone's just like, well, what are we going to do? She's like, I have this under control. Just help me out a little bit here. Keep some eyes out. And that's all I need. And she's just, even with that type of interaction, it really just shows how well in control Mom is of the situation and how she's playing everything. Like, she's a full strategist in the whole, like, grand scheme of keeping these kids here.
Oh yeah, and it's, I guess, and you know, she brings her in and it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess now it's 2 against 3, so it might even the odds a little bit more, like, one of those gonna go. Crone decides, oh, whatever, I'm gonna take over Mom's spot at this farm. Because even reveals that Mom was a child. She has a marking on her neck. And maybe we'll see stuff that later on. After that, like, it really brings in some interesting dynamics. And I think it ends with them just showing more of these demons, and that they're cultivating what the higher Emma and Norman are the higher IQ people for some name I cannot pronounce. It's like in their demon language.
It's like a weird squiggly.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's like horror or something, or like some like deep demonic voice like happens when they say it. So I feel like it gave me enough to just be like, God, I need to go get number 2. Like, I gotta get the next volume to see what's going on. I know it's a pretty popular series. I hadn't heard about it until later on. And I really wish I had heard of it. I really wish I had read it earlier.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm really liking Norman the most out of all of them. He seems to be that, like, grounding agent.
For me, it's Ray, and it's just more of how, I mean, the realistic of Ray, like, how realistic Ray is with the whole situation. He's not trying to be like, yes, do all of this. He's more like, this is what we can do. How he is with Emma and everything. It's just a really good counterbalance to her happy-go-lucky and his kind of like realistic view on everything.
Yeah, like, I feel that the way the characters are written, at least just for this first volume, it strikes it like, again, a really good balance between the 3. Like, they make a very, like, I feel like they complete each other. Whereas, like, as you said, they each excel in areas, but then they complement each other in the areas they don't have, and it just brings them all on like an even playing field. So it'll be really interesting to see, I guess, how their brains work with different scenarios, how they can help each other out while they're combating Mom with, like, finding the tracking thing in the ear, and I don't know, man, it seems like a whirlwind of stuff is going to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, heck, even with, going back to Ray, though, when Emma comes up and they're like, well, we need to get Ray in on this, and they go and tell Ray, he's just instantly like, okay. Didn't have any type of panic or anything. He was just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, and it's like, I wonder, it's like, is the realism, like, because he just, like, it clicks with him. He's like, okay, I understand. Like, I thought I would have got some emotional from him. So I don't know if maybe they're going to do something else with him later on, or if it's just, like, that's just how he's just that, like, the realistic person.
He sees everything as just, like, a big broad, or way too broad, but, like, he has that outer view of, like, okay, this is what everything's going on. I could see everything as a whole.
Yeah, so, like, I know I'm definitely be keeping up with it. I already have number 2, so I'm ready to get on that. So definitely 5 out of 5. Like, I can't wait to continue this.
Oh yeah.
Well, guys, that brings us to the end of our voyage. Thanks for listening to us talk about this wonderful series. I'm really looking forward to checking it out. I know me and King we'll be jumping on the next volumes pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, we jumped on that band bus really hard.
Oh yeah, and with good reason. So if you liked the video, then we'd appreciate if you give us a like down below. Let us know in the comments if you enjoyed this series, or what we have to expect. I think probably now, I don't know how far the series or the anime goes, so I guess I'll look at that and I guess decide whether I need to read all the books before I read that, or go into the anime, or I don't know, whatever.
We'll find out.
So if you want to be a part of the official OP crew, then hit that subscribe button down below. And then if you want to stay up to date whenever we release our videos, then hit that red notification bell at the top. Get those sweet notifications, let us know when we have our wonderful discussions. So with that, I'm Nico.
And I'm King.
And we're the Opinionated Pirates, sailing off.